Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Louis van Gaal has said Erik ten Hag should join a football club, not a commercial club. He said Manchester United is a commercial club. You know, Louis van Gaal is the former Manchester United manager. Louis van Gaal did win the FA Cup when he was Manchester United manager. He was a Manchester United manager for around 2 years and then Manchester United sacked him. Erik ten Hag has already been interviewed for the Manchester United job. He came through the interview with flying colours. The Ajax CEO Edwin van der Sar will not stand in Erik ten Hag's way if he asks to make a move to Manchester United. You know, Erik ten Hag is ready to leave Ajax at the end of this season. It's said recently that Erik ten Hag is shocked that he's not been offered a contract by Manchester United after promising talks. Ten Hag is the favourite to become Manchester United's next permanent manager. Ralph Rangnick wants Erik ten Hag to become the next manager, and a lot of Manchester United fans would like to see him get recommended in. It'd be good for Ten Hag to come and experience the Premier League because he's not yet managed in the Premier League. You've got to admire the work he's done at Ajax. You know, he's developed the young players well. He's won some Dutch Cups with them. He's won a couple of Eredivisie titles with them. And revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. So there you go. Ten Hag has been the Ajax manager for over 4 years. Ajax appointed him in back in December 2017. His contract expires next year. Ajax is the 4th club he's managing in his managerial career. Before Ajax he managed Utrecht, before then managed Bayern Munich's reserves and Go Ahead Eagles. Now I want to give you some news on Mauricio Pochettinho. So according to reports in France, Mauricio Pochettinho has been interviewed for the Manchester United job. Romano said that Man United have not yet made a decision on who the next manager will be. Pochettinho is under pressure at PSG, but despite that, Pochettinho said that he wants to stay at PSG. PSG may have to pay 17 million to sack Pochettinho. Pochettinho has been the PSG manager for over a year now. He's won a French Cup with them. His contract expires at PSG next year. The vast majority of Manchester United players want Mauricio Pochettinho as the next manager. I think Pochettinho is a good manager, even though he's hardly won anything. He's proven in the Premier League, which is beneficial because before he endured a 5.5-year managerial tenure with Tottenham. Analysing the vast majority of his managerial tenure at Tottenham were competing in and out of the top 4. But back in 2018, he got Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final, and at one point he almost won the league when he was Tottenham manager. Before Tottenham managed Southampton, he only enjoyed a short managerial tenure with Southampton, but still managed to guide Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League. So they're the clubs he's managed in the Premier League so far, and a long time ago he managed Espanyol. Revert back to when Man United sacked Jose Mourinho. Man United should have got Pochettinho then, but the club decided to go with Solskjaer instead. You know, Manchester United are looking for the 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. You know, Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson retired. You know, the managers we've sacked, we sacked David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, and last year Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ralph Rangnick, he's been Manchester United's interim manager for almost 4 months. It initially said that is Manchester United's interim manager until the end of the season. Then he's expected to take up a consultancy role for a further 2 years. But obviously now the consultancy role is now in doubt. Rangnick has lost 4 games in all competitions as Manchester United's interim manager. Revert back to the other week, it said Manchester United are considering sacking Ralph Rangnick. Earlier on this season it did mention that Rangnick wants the permanent Man United job. There's been good performances under Rangnick, there's also been poor performances as well, but he's been totally blameless for the poor performances. Like I've mentioned so many times before, the players have had to take responsibility for the poor performances. Like I said, Rangnick's a very good coach, I've got a lot of respect for him. And let me put into the equation, Rangnick is inheriting players who other managers have brought in, so none of this squad is Rangnick's. Before Manchester United, he was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Earlier on this season, Rangnick recommended Ewan Sharping as an assistant coach and analyst. He also recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he recommended Saz Chalenzin as a sports psychologist, so he has made changes since he come in. He's enjoyed 1 transfer window as Man United's interim manager. Unfortunately, Rangnick did not get backed in the January transfer window this year. Man United enjoyed a very disappointing January transfer window this year. Rangnick's aim for this season is for Manchester United to finish in the top 4. Well, Man United are now focusing on finishing in the top 4 because Man United cannot win a trophy this season. You know, Manchester United have not won a trophy for 5 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. You know, in the last 10 years, Manchester United have only won 4 trophies. You know, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. And in the last 10 years or so, Man United have spent over 1.3 billion. The Glazers, they've owned Manchester United for a long time. The Glazers have owned Manchester United for around 16 and a half years. The Glazers bought the club for 500 million back in 2005, and I've said so many times that we need to get the Glazers out of the club because they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. Revert back to a couple of weeks ago now, was it? He said the Glazers are planning to demolish Old Trafford. You know, Man United are looking to upgrade the stadium. Man United have played at the same stadium for 112 years. You know, Man United are looking to increase the capacity to around 80,000. At the moment, Old Trafford holds around 75,000. Old Trafford is the second biggest stadium in England. So yeah, so should Old Trafford be demolished? Earlier on this year, Richard Arnold got appointed in as a new chief executive. He replaced Ed Woodward, didn't he? It was good news from a Man United perspective that Woodward stepped down earlier on this year, because Woodward was one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. He was accountable for how poor our recruitment policy was. Ed Woodward was at Manchester United for around 17 years. But in the summer of this year, I'm expecting Manchester United to make signings. I reckon in the summer we'll try and sign a midfielder and a striker. On the other side of things, I'm expecting a lot of players to depart the club in the summer. So in the summer, I reckon Edison Cavani will be leaving. Like I updated you not so long ago, it said Edison Cavani's close to agreeing a move to Real Sociedad. You know, Cavani held talks with Real Sociedad. Cavani's also been linked with a move to Brazil. Cavani's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Man United got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. As good as Cavani, you know, earlier on this season had a groin injury. He's had quite a few injuries since he signed for the club. And this season I think it's been Cavani's second full season at Man United. Man United could let Donny van der Beek and Anthony Martial leave permanently this summer. At the moment, Van der Beek's out on loan with Everton and Martial's out on loan with Sevilla. Jesse Lingard, he'll leave Man United in the summer. He's out of contract in the summer. Lingard should have left in January this year, but Man United blocked his exit. Lingard's not good enough to represent the club. He has been part of the club for a long time. He came up our academy in that, but Lingard doesn't really get in the team. At the second half of last season, Lingard endured a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Marcus Rashford, he could be leaving Manchester United this summer. I'm hearing that Arsenal are interested in him. Sources close to Football Insider recently said that Marcus Rashford has told his friends that he wants to quit Man United. Earlier on this season, Fabrizio Romano came out and said that Marcus Rashford is considering his future with Man United as he is concerned about his lack of playing time. Rashford's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. Rashford is a good player overall, but he has endured a lot of poor games this season. He hasn't been the same player since he had that operation on his shoulder. He missed the first 2 months of this season with that shoulder problem. And earlier on this season had a minor leg injury. Rashford has been part of the club for a long time. He came up our academy in that. He's been a United player since the age of 7. And he broke into our senior squad back in 2016. And since then, he's gone on to make nearly 300 appearances in all competitions. Rashford's contract at Man United expires next year. I initially thought Ronaldo was going to be leaving Manchester United this summer, but revert back to the other week. The AS said that Ronaldo has no plans to leave Man United this summer. He's willing to see out the final year of his contract. Ronaldo's contract at Man United expires next year. There's an option of a further year. He's the highest earner at Man United at the moment. He receives almost £500,000 a week. Don't forget Ronaldo recently got voted Player of the Month for March. Earlier on this season, Ronaldo held crunch talks with his agent Jorge Mendes over his Man United future, and he actually threatened to quit following his Derby Day absence. Ronaldo missed a 4-1 defeat to Man City because it actually said Ronaldo had a knock. Don't forget, Ronaldo scored a hat-trick in the 3-2 win against Tottenham. That was his first hat-trick since he re-signed for the club, and he became the highest scorer in football history. Ronaldo scored 18 goals in all competitions since he re-signed. He's got over 800 goals in his career. And Man United re-signed Ronaldo last summer for $20 million. With add-ons included, and he wears a number 7 shirt. He's won over 30 trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. Good chance that Paul Pogba will be leaving Man United this summer. Pogba's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Pogba's not yet made a decision on his future. Not so long ago it said he was in talks with 2 Premier League clubs. Real Madrid, his former club Juventus and PSG have also been in for him. So Pogba's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. Earlier on this season, Pogba's trainer claimed that he wants to leave Old Trafford. Pogba is a good player, not only a good player, he's an imperative player as well. He's enjoyed a lot of good games since he recovered from injury. Pogba was out with injury for a while earlier on this season. He's injury prone because he's had quite a few injuries since he re-signed for the club. This season has been his 6th season at Man United since he re-signed. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. He's played over 200 games since he re-signed, and Man United paid £89 million for Pogba, so reflecting on that, is our most expensive signing at the moment. Matic, he'll leave Man United in the summer. He's out of contract in the summer. He's not one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he's been given his opportunities. He's the only predominant centre defensive midfielder Man United have got at the moment. Matic has been at the club for over 4 years. You know, we got Matic from Chelsea back in 2017 for 40 million. I've always had my reservations about Matic. He's always been a static midfielder, hasn't he? And he's ageing up as well. Mata, he'll leave as well in the summer. Mata's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Mata's been at Manchester United for 8 years, so reflecting on that, he's been a long-serving player. We got him from Chelsea, didn't we, back in 2014. Man United paid around 37.1 million. With the add-ons, it risen up to 40 million. Jones and Bailly, also expecting them to leave in the summer because they don't really get in the team. Good chance Maguire will be departing the club in the summer. Revert back to the other week, the Manchester Evening News said that Man United are prepared to sell Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire's not good enough to represent the club. Man United definitely overpaid for him. We got Maguire for 80 million. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment, and he's the second most expensive signing at the club. Maguire's been at Man United for over 2 years now, and you know, he's endured a lot of poor performances, and he's had quite a few injuries since he came to the club. I can't understand how he's still Man United captain, Harry Maguire. A lot of Man United fans have been demanding for the captaincy to be taken off him. Earlier on this season, though, Rangnick said that Maguire will remain Man United captain until the end of the season. I think we could look to sell Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the summer because he isn't good enough. Plus, he's not our first choice right back under Rangnick. Diego Dalot is our first choice right back under Rangnick. And Dean Henderson, he will also leave in the summer. Henderson's our second choice keeper, doesn't really get in goal because if you revert back to last year, De Gea reclaimed that number 1 spot back. And De Gea's been sensational this season, so obviously the number 1 jersey is not going to be taken off him. Revert back to Henderson. Henderson's only made 3 appearances this season. So there you go. So yeah, we could look to sell around 11 players in the summer. You know, John Murtaugh and that are looking to raise funds. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.